It's time for the Prete Is On with Dave Prete here on 92.1 The Team, WCKR Hornell. Here's Dave Prete.
And this is your host, Dave Prete. Welcome to the Prete Is On 92.1 The Team. And we are in just finishing week number 8, going into week number 9 of the coronavirus lockdown. Some good news, however, on the horizon, I guess, some fairly good news, and that is that some areas in our state starting to open things up in phase 1, or they will be shortly. So hopefully there's an end in sight. May still be a little while away before, we can get back to normal, and sports especially will probably be one of the last aspects of life to fully get back to normal. But that leads us to Major League Baseball, and I want to start the show with the conversation of what MLB has been discussing as far as their plans for starting the season and opening their season up. Before I do, though, I do want to say hello to the man in the studio, the man behind the glass, producer of the show, Brian O'Neill. Brian, as usual, thanks for doing such a good job, and welcome.
I'm going to do my Paul Schaefer imitation here. Hi, Dave.
That's great. Great, Brian. Gosh, I miss Paul Schaefer, actually. He was
the world's most dangerous band there on the Dave Letterman show.
Yeah, he was a stalemate there. You didn't have a Letterman show without Paul saying his "Hey, Dave" at the beginning. So thanks for that, Brian. Brought back some good memories of Paul Schaefer. And
let's say hello to our good friend Paul Schaefer.
Brian O'Neill. So going back to Major League Baseball, there's been a lot of different proposals going around about how they're going to start the season and if they're going to start the season. And the most recent one hasn't been confirmed, it hasn't been voted on, but basically the idea is that they're going to play an 80 or 82 game season, which would be basically half of a regular season, that if you were to cut the number of regular season games in half, and play them regionally. So stay in one area so there's not a lot of travel. You can contain or prevent the spread of the coronavirus. You would be having teams that normally aren't in the same division as other teams playing against each other. You can there's been the proposal of having a DH in both leagues, which I think at this point they should just do anyways, do away with pitchers hitting. I was always, a proponent of pitchers hitting. I think it's, I'm a traditionalist, and I think if you're on the field and you're playing a position, you should hit. However, I do understand the reason for designated hitter. It keeps guys around a little bit longer once they become unable to play certain positions every day of the season, and it takes the wear and tear off of some guys. And and let's face it, most pitchers in baseball aren't good hitters anyways. So there's been different proposals, but then comes the bump in the road. And the bump in the road in this case is the financials. And the argument between the MLB Players Association and the MLB itself is whether or not the players will be paid their full salary to play a half a season, or what the owners are proposing, that the players basically get a stipend of a certain amount based on the number of games that they end up playing. And that this was going to become a problem for both sides. And I understand and I see both sides of the argument, and it's hard to side with one side or the other. What I can say is it's hard to feel bad for a bunch of billionaire owners who, yes, they're going to lose money because they're not going to have fans in the stands, or if they do, it's not going to be till really later in the season. It's hard to feel bad for players who are millionaires that make millions of dollars to play a game and entertain us. However, the players are putting their health, their safety, the health and safety of their families at risk by potentially being exposed to the coronavirus. So I understand why they would want their full salary, because there is more of a risk than normal this season with them potentially taking the field. But honestly, as a big baseball fan, and I do enjoy baseball probably more than any other sport. Football's right up there, but I'm a baseball traditionalist. I've played and coached for a good part of my life. I miss watching baseball, and I miss having it on. And just the last week and the week before, when I was on the show talking about it, I said any baseball is better than no baseball. But I'm almost to a point now where I guess I don't really care if they play it or not this year. And if financials is going to be the bump in the road or the obstacle that prevents the 2020 season from happening, then I'd rather just not have them play, because it could have a longer-term negative effect on the game if they play and one of the sides doesn't end up happy. If the players only make a portion of their amount of salary to play a half a season, they're going to be fuming mad. It's going to affect the collective bargaining in the years to come, and they're going to hold that over the heads of the owners and say, remember back in 2020 when we had coronavirus, when the COVID-19 prevented us from playing a whole season, and you wouldn't give us our full paycheck? And the owners are going to be mad if they have to cave in and pay the players their full salary while they're losing, literally millions and millions of dollars because there's no fans in the stadiums, and they're not playing a full season's worth of games that they accounted for, budgeted for when they made these contracts. So I'm at a point right now where, we would be if the season started, already a quarter way through the season. I mean, we're in almost the end of May. The season was supposed to start the end of March. We're already 2 months in. If they don't have a season this year, I'm okay with that. Because to be totally honest with you, it's going to be strange watching these games with no fans in the stands anyways. And if you recall, there was about 5 years ago, when they had the riots in downtown Baltimore after an African-American man was shot by police officers, and I can't remember his name. I apologize for that. But because of the riots in the streets, they decided to play a game at Camden Yards in front of no fans just for safety precautions. And I remember after that game, some of the Orioles players and some of the players on the other team, and I don't recall which team was playing Baltimore in that game. I want to say the Milwaukee Brewers. I remember them saying it was the weirdest feeling not having fans in the stands. All you could hear was a crack of the bat, the pop of the glove. It was like silence. And to me, that's not baseball. And then if you want to factor in the whole end of the season, the playoff format, which now they're talking about adding more teams to the format in order to make it more interesting, and I'm okay with that. But the other problem is whoever wins the championship this year, if they do end up having a season and whoever ends up winning, it's going to be tainted. There's going to be a big, huge asterisk next to it. In years from now, or even next year, or in the years to come, you're going to look back and you're going to say, yeah, so-and-so won the World Series, but it was a shortened season under really, really bizarre conditions. It's not valued as much as a team who would win the championship in a full season under normal conditions. So as far as MLB goes, that's where I'm at. I don't care either way. If they want to try to squeeze the season in and, make it kind of gimmicky, go ahead. As long as the Players Association and the MLB can figure out how to make both sides happy with financial accommodations. And if they don't play the season, at this point I'm okay with that also. Because I want what's best for the game, And I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about what's best for the game in the future down the road. Because it's a game that, let's be honest, has lost a lot of fans over the years. It's lost its popularity. I don't even know if it's considered one of the top 3 sports in our country anymore. I mean, you have football, basketball, which are ahead of baseball in the ratings and in attendance and things like that. College football is probably is a better draw than MLB. Hockey is probably not too far behind, and soccer's a rising sport. So for the betterment of the game and for the good of the game, I just want MLB to do what's best for the future of the game and not the present. So that's my take on MLB. We'll be back after a break, and we're going to talk some NFL, and we'll also talk some Buffalo Bills when we come back after the break here on the Prete Is On 92.1 The Team.
Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering has been serving this area for many years. During life's ups and downs, we've never quite experienced anything like this. There's no official day or time set for us all to go back to business as usual, but Mullins wants you to know they're there for you and your flooring projects. And it's also a good time to say thanks to all the loyal customers and remind you to support all area local small businesses to help them stay afloat during this unprecedented time. Be safe and stay healthy. From your friends at Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering in Almond.
This local sports show here on 92.1 The Team is brought to you in part by Rhonda Wilsey. Spring is here. Now's the time to buy or sell your home. When choosing a local real estate agent, choose someone with 2 decades of experience. Rhonda Wilsey has been helping people like you find their new home for over 18 years. Call Rhonda Wilsey at 607-382-4539 or email Rhonda at rhondawilsey@howardhanna.com.
Do you lead an active lifestyle? Are you trying to reach that next level in your fitness or active lifestyle? Stop into Next Level Wellness in Hornell. Next Level Wellness offers CBD options that help promote muscle recovery and regrowth. Their CBD products are the perfect addition to pre- and post-workouts. CBD helps reduce inflammation, allowing you to recover faster from workouts. If you're ready to step up your training or take your game to the next level, then stop into Next Level Wellness or shop online at nxlevelwellness.com. Next Level Wellness, 10 Seneca Street, Hornell, or call 607-385-3188 for more info.
Have you written a book? You can become a published author with Dorrance Publishing, the nation's oldest publishing services company. Countless authors have trusted Dorrance for nearly 100 years to bring their book to the market. Our professional team will edit your text, design your book pages, and create an appealing, eye-catching custom cover. Plus, our authors benefit from a custom book promotion marketing campaign that makes your book available where people buy books, like Amazon and brick-and-mortar bookstores. So make this free call right now to claim your free author's guide to publishing. Don't wait another day. Take one step closer to realizing your dream of becoming a published author and seeing your name in print. You've already written a book, so the next thing to do is make this free call right now to Dorrance Publishing and get your free guide to publishing. Call right now.
800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
It's amazing what a simple refresh can do to make a difference in your home. And Lowe's is here to help make it happen. Start by shopping our new wall tile selection with hundreds of mosaics, including modern blacks and blues. Marble mosaics starting at just $7.98. And finish off your project with dual scrub and stain-resistant Valspar Ultra Interior Paint Plus Primer starting at just $24.98 a gallon. Whatever updates you need to make today and every day, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 2/19 U.S. only.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn. Ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn. Tell people to stay off the lawn. Compare it to your neighbor's lawn. And complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance, which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
And welcome back to the Prete Is On, segment number 2. It is segment 1 in the books, and I want to remind everybody to listen to the Joel Orion Show, airing right after mine here on 92.1 The Team. Joel is on the air from 10 a.m. to noon, and and a lot to get to on this week's installment of the Joel Orion Show on 92 on the Team. With NASCAR returning, Jeff Stragle of the Motor Racing Network will return to the show to talk about upcoming races. With the airing of The Last Dance, we'll be talking to former Bulls guard Kyle Macy, who played alongside Michael Jordan when he dropped 63 points on the Celtics in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals in 1986. Joel will also talk about his tenure in Chicago as well as his time at Kentucky where he won a national championship. Kyle played against Magic Johnson in college and took on the Showtime Lakers in the Western Conference when he was with the Phoenix Suns. Kyle will also give his thoughts on his alma mater, Kentucky, and how Coach Cal is doing there. And last but not least, Todd Zeal, former New York Met, and of course, as you know, yours truly is a Mets fan, so Todd Zeal was always one of my favorites in the late 90s, early 2000s as a member of the Mets. And Zeal, who played 16 years in the major leagues, of course, as I mentioned, with the Mets and with the Dodgers, Yankees, Cardinals, and I believe there's a couple other teams in there as well. Part of the 2000 Subway Series where he batted .400 for the Mets. He's only one of 19 New York Yankees to hit a home run in his first at-bat as a Yankee. He is also the only player to hit a home run with 11 different teams. Todd was part of the Mike Piazza home run game after 9/11 at Shea Stadium, that famous game. Todd is the last player to hit a home run against the Montreal Expos because, as everybody knows, in 2004, they became the Washington Nationals. And he's also an exclusive club of hitting a home run in his last Major League at-bat. Todd now works for SNY and the Mets broadcast team. So tune in to 92.1 The Team right after my show, starting at 10 a.m., and until noon to catch the Joel Orion Show. So Joel, with some good guests, and I want to know how he gets these guests, Brian. Any idea?
Different announcers locally have talked about that over the years, and everyone kind of marvels at how he gets the lineup that he gets. And, one announcer said to me one time, I bet it's fake. I bet he's paying for canned interviews. You can tell that he's not because they say, yes, thanks, Joel. And there's just no way around that.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. Kudos to Joel. Those are some names right there. I've had the genius Lanny Poffo on my show, and we've had, of course, Bill Dugan, Hornell's native superstar, but those are some good names. I know Joel had Don Beebe on a couple of weeks ago, of course, former wide receiver of the Buffalo Bills, the guy who knocked the ball out of Leon Lett's hands as he was nearing the end zone in one of the Bills Super Bowl losses. So good for Joel. And, speaking of the Bills, Brian, I know you have some clips from the earlier today from the Jim Rome show from General Manager Brandon Beane. And if you want to go ahead and play them, I just want to elaborate on them a little bit.
Why was Josh Allen your guy?
That's when you're scouting him, you're definitely trying to watch, all right, who is he going against? What corners, what receivers does he have? And unfortunately, it is what it is. He's playing at Wyoming, but you still have to give him the attributes of the arm talent, the athletic ability, the prototypical size. Those are the things we saw on tape watching him through the fall, and then I went and saw him live, and then saw him live again at the Senior Bowl. The next part, Pat, was getting to know him, and one of the first things that we figured out testing him, this guy's very smart, and say, all right, and see how quickly, and basically we would time him to see if they could get them all done in like 30 seconds.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that was actually Pat McAfee interviewing Brandon Beane, Bills general manager, who was given his take on Josh Allen when they drafted Josh a year ago, or 2 seasons ago now, I should say. And, still, what a great pick for the Bills. And I know Josh Allen is the future of the Bills franchise, or that's what the Bills are hoping he's going to be. I think he has a ton of potential. I really liked when they took him, and I like the way he's played the last 2 seasons. I mean, of course, last year he got them to the playoffs. The year before they were close. the only issue I have with Josh Allen is he's an accident waiting to happen the way he runs with the ball. And it's not a bad thing that he can run with the ball because, if a quarterback can make things happen with his legs, he can take some of that pressure off his arm and, having to, throw the ball downfield like a pocket passer would have to do. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes and what he's done with his legs. Of course, Michael Vick in his prime, and I put Allen kind of in that same category. The problem with Allen is he's a reckless runner. Mahomes is a kind of a finesse runner. He knows kind of when to get out of bounds, and he knows when to slide and how to turn his body to take a hit. And I've seen Josh Allen just lay himself out there and, go head-to-head with some of these linebackers and safeties and defensive linemen. And, it's okay to have that mentality, but, man, it's going to catch up with your body sooner rather than later. So that's my only criticism so far of Josh Allen is really kind of the recklessness that he runs with. But you know what? I mean, if he can stay healthy, he's got a great future, and that was a great pick by Mr. Bean in Buffalo. So that was a nice interview on the Pat McAfee show.
We had another clip, Dave, of McAfee with Brandon Bean. Did you want to hear that?
Oh, all right. Yeah, you got another clip. Go ahead.
When we went to Laramie, we brought our owners with us just to see how he's around owners. How's he around us? And was amazed at how comfortable he was in his skin. And you felt it. We went to a restaurant in Laramie, and people are just, Josh was just super nice to the host. You can tell he'd been there before, but he's not walking in there like, hey, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. He's talking to every single person from the hostess, and just genuine dude. Took him to lunch after the workout the next day. It was the same thing, and again, then brought him to Buffalo, and just, everything about him, screamed leadership. And I think if you ask the guys on our team, Pat, whether they're on the offensive side or the defensive side, I haven't found anybody that just doesn't love who Josh Allen is on and off the field.
Yeah, that's what you want from your quarterback in the NFL. You want a guy who can be the face of your franchise, that is likable, that can represent your organization well. And I feel like most quarterbacks try to do that. But Josh Allen really, really does seem to be a really likable guy. Always seems to say the right things, whether after a win or after a loss. And, and you don't, he just doesn't have that arrogant demeanor to him. It's different to have an arrogant swag when you're on the field, but when you're off the field and you're talking to people and you're in the community and you're making statements, on a microphone, he seems to, he says the right things, and that's a great thing, especially in Western New York, because, Western New York is a smaller, tight-knit community, and he represents the area well. And I just think, that was a great pick by the Bills. And I hope things work out for the Bills and Josh Allen. And I hope they can keep him around for a long time. And, the guy can finish his career with the Bills, assuming between now and then, he has a successful run in between. So, yeah, thanks for playing those clips, Brian. That was from the Pat McAfee show, interviewing Brandon Bean, Bills general manager. And when we come back, I'm actually going to interview the new Canisteo Greenwood Redskins varsity football coach, Steve Donlin, after this break.
Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering has been serving this area for many years. During life's ups and downs, we've never quite experienced anything like this. There's no official day or time set for us all to go back to business as usual, but Mullins wants you to know they're there for you and your flooring projects. And it's also a good time to say thanks to all the loyal customers and remind you to support all area local small businesses to help them stay afloat during this unprecedented time. Be safe and stay healthy. From your friends at Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering in Almond.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
800-430-1891. 800-430-1891. 800-430-1891. That's 800-430-1891.
Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
And welcome back to the Prete Is On 92.1 The Team here in our third segment. And before we get to our next guest on the studio line, I want to thank one of the sponsors of the show, Rhonda Wilsey, from the Howard Hanna Real Estate Agency. Rhonda is the Howard Hanna Agency located at 83 Main Street in Hornell. Contact Rhonda at 607-352-5000 or 607-382-4539 for any of your realty needs. And thanks again to Rhonda Wilsey and the Howard Hanna Agency for sponsoring today's show. So on the studio line, we have the brand spanking new varsity head football coach of the Canisteo Greenwood Redskins. I want to welcome at this time Steve Donlin. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, now, Steve, this is your first season. You're coming in at a time that's obviously been very challenging for many people, especially no spring sports, no school, really no nothing, no way of communicating with any of your players in person. What have you done to get to know some of your players and go over what your expectations are with them and any off-season training program that you've prepared for them? How are you presenting things to them right now during this really strange time?
Well, luckily I was appointed in January, and we had an idea in December it was going to happen. So I was able to get introduced to the team and talk to the team in January, and then we got together in February and had another talk and went through what our program would be in the summertime and things like that. And so I was able to meet the guys. I was able to go to a couple of lifting sessions. We had them on Wednesday, really after school a lot. Coach Kohler's there and Coach Amadon. So I've been able to see them a little bit. I mean, I wish I was able to see them more. I teach at Alfred Elman. So, but we laid out what we want to do in the summertime and what we want to do a little bit in the springtime. We were able to do a couple run game get-togethers, so we were able to do that with our line. So we got together a little bit, and right now in our season plan, we wouldn't be doing a lot because it's baseball season and track season. So we'd let them play their sports and be successful there. So we really haven't lost any time yet, but it's getting closer, So our time would be in May. We would have had a couple pass sessions, and in June we would have had a couple pass sessions early, and then in that last week we would have started our lifting weights. So, right now we're still on target, but we know that it's fast approaching. Coach Canny has put together online lifting and running program. We talked a little bit and decided we get something out there, and Coach Canny's taking the lead doing that. So, the thing is, I'll say this: my coaching staff's super professional. They're great leaders, and our mindset is, we're going to lead these fellas, whether we're on the field or off the field. So that's where we're at.
Okay, what are your expectations for the coming season? Assuming, and let's hope that there is a coming season. I know there's been talk, recently that perhaps the school year in the fall might be delayed, and of course we don't know anything right now because it's still a ways away. But assuming there's a season and you play in the fall, what is your expectation of this team coming in?
Yeah, and it is difficult to keep our eye on that prize, but that's exactly what we're trying to do. So when I talk to my coaches, like I said, we have a lot of professional guys, and our job is to prepare as if we're going to play. So what we expect. Well, number one, I inherited this program from Coach Keeley, who was fantastic, and I have a lot of respect for him. Being in Hornell while he was over here, and he's left us in really good shape. I mean, in terms of the culture and the work ethic, he was fantastic. So that part's really helpful, and he also left us with 20 seniors. So when I talk about my expectations with my team, the things that we talk about are reaching sectional championships and winning them. And with 20 seniors, like I said to them, if when I coach in Hornell, if we have 20 seniors, we're talking about winning sectional championships. And so that was my talk to them, and my message to them. So I have high expectations, and our coaching staff has high expectations. Our players have high expectations of this football season. So we're very excited about being able to play. We're going to have to go through a little adversity here with the situation.
I was lucky enough to be able to broadcast some of the Canfield Greenwood games on the radio right here. I actually on 92.1. I live in the district, and I know a lot of the kids and a lot of the players. But they had a pretty good season this past year. They got off to a really good start, struggled a little bit later in the season. So the expectations are there because, like you said, you're going to be having 20 seniors returning, and they, a lot of them who were juniors last year were coming off, the experience of having a good season. Do you see any obstacles or any potential, roadblocks that might hinder some of the development aside from the whole Corona thing and trying to stay in shape and stuff like that over the summer?
Well, and anytime a new coach walks in to a program, one of the things you're most scared about is, are they going to buy in? I do not have that. I don't question that. I do believe these kids are going to buy in, but of course you could have that. My number one thing is to get them in the weight room. I believe with 20 seniors, with the kids we have coming back, so not even 20 seniors, with the team we're going to have, if we get in the weight room and we work our offense 2 days a week and our defense 1 day a week as we planned, we will be a force in Class D. If we didn't do those things, right? So if we don't develop that culture that everyone's going to be there every day, lifting, everyone's going to be there for plays. If we don't develop that, then there's your hindrance, right? Because you can't win a sectional title. I've been doing this 20 years. And got to learn from the best with Coach Maston. And you cannot win if you're not going to prepare in the summertime. It just doesn't happen. And I do feel like the kids believe that. I think they understand that. And, Coach Kohler was at Hornell with me, brought down a couple other coaches from Hornell with me as well. And I think the kids believe in it. So the obstacles are, the kids themselves, and they know that. It's always us, right? It always comes down to the man in the mirror. And but I really, really have a good feeling about this group. I think they bought in.
Yeah, I think buy-in is huge, and you come from a program where you were an assistant for a number of years at Hornell High School, and I know you, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you coached under Gene Maston for a couple of years, and then, of course, Coach Warner when he took over. So you know the mindset, you know what it takes, and you have the ability to get them to buy in and motivate them. But tell me a little bit about your experience coaching in Hornell. Is there any specific strategy that you learned while coaching there that you're going to bring to this group here in Canisteo Greenwood?
Yeah, the strategy is keep it simple. KISS is the acronym, so the last S is keep it simple, stupid, right? So you always got to remind yourself. But you have to be able to run the ball. It's Class D football. It is a little bit different. It is a little bit different than Class B, for example. So when you walk in the weight room, kids are a little smaller, and people pass less in Class D. And I spent 8 years in Class D, down in Canisteo before that with Coach Crook and Coach Deneen and Coach Freeland. So it's a little bit different. So in Class D, the secret is you have to be able to run the ball, and then you have to be able to stop the run. So those are some of the things that I just believe that we're going to be a power O offense. We're going to be a counter offense. We're going to be ram it down your throat. But I'm telling you, with the talent we have with some of these kids, it looks like the 05 team too, because we can pass. Like with Zach Thompson and Matt Kirkendale from way back when. I'm throwing out some old names there, but when we went to the sectional finals before. You can smash them with Nick Clark and Billy Weekland and Kyle Amadon, but then you can throw the ball. And I believe we can do that this year.
So, again, we're talking with Steve Donlin, new head coach of varsity football program here in Canisteo Greenwood. Steve, you had mentioned you're a teacher at Alfred Almond. You went to Canisteo Greenwood way back in the day. Played football, played baseball. Do you see a difference in the program between when you played years back and now? I know one thing I see, and this has been more of a recent development, is there's a very big soccer program now in Canisteo Greenwood that obviously plays at the same time during football in the fall, and the soccer program, the boys soccer program, has really started to develop and has been very successful over the past couple of years. Did you have that kind of competition when you went with other programs, or was like football kind of the main sport, the thing that that kind of drove the bus, so to speak, in the fall sports program at Canisteo Greenwood?
Well, when I went, it was just Canisteo, so. Graduated in 98. So we did not have boys soccer. But coming from Hornell, where we always had a great boys soccer team, and we always had a great football team. And the same thing is going to happen at Canisteo Greenwood too. I believe that too. You kind of get a feel for what you are and who you are and what kind of player you are and what sport you are. And so and I knew Canisteo Greenwood was good because I think they either beat Alfred Almond or tied them or did something. And Alfred Almond's always great. So, no, I don't. We didn't have that kind of competition. But that has changed for sure. But as a coach, I want every sport at the school you're at to be successful, and hopefully they do too. If you identify someone who should probably be playing football because they're tackling the heck out of someone on the soccer field, point them our way. And if there's someone who's good with the footwork and can do some stuff, we could do the same thing. So, but they kind of know what they play, they adjust to that and they kind of make that decision on their own. I don't see it being a deterrent. I just, I want my guys to go to soccer games and root for them, and I want the soccer team to come to our games and root for us.
Yeah, all the camaraderie between the programs, and that's great. It's a great way to support your peers and your classmates and your schoolmates and the other student athletes. So let's hope all the programs are successful, including yours, the football program in the fall, Steve. So I want to thank you for joining the show. It's been a pleasure. I do want to get you on as it gets closer to the season, and again, I hope by by September, or when we're ready to, for the fall, when we're ready for football to start, we're able to get out on the field and watch some football. And I know you're probably very excited about that, with being your first year as head coach. So good luck to you, and thank you again for coming on the show. And we do look forward to talking to you again. We appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks so much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That was Steve Donlin, head football coach of the Canisteo Greenwood Redskins. We'll be back after this break with our final segment.
Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering has been serving this area for many years. During life's ups and downs, we've never quite experienced anything like this. There's no official day or time set for us all to go back to business as usual, but Mullins wants you to know they're there for you and your flooring projects. And it's also a good time to say thanks to all the loyal customers and remind you to support all area local small businesses to help them stay afloat during this unprecedented time. Be safe and stay healthy. From your friends at Mullen Factory Direct Floor Covering in Almond.
This local sports show here on 92.1 The Team is brought to you in part by Rhonda Wilsey. Spring is here. Now's the time to buy or sell your home. When choosing a local real estate agent, choose someone with 2 decades of experience. Rhonda Wilsey has been helping people like you find their new home for over 18 years. Call Rhonda Wilsey at 607-382-4539 or email Rhonda at rhondawilsey@howardhanna.com.
Do you lead an active lifestyle? Are you trying to reach that next level in your fitness or active lifestyle? Stop into Next Level Wellness in Hornell. Next Level Wellness offers CBD options that help promote muscle recovery and regrowth. Their CBD products are the perfect addition to pre- and post-workouts. CBD helps reduce inflammation, allowing you to recover faster from workouts. If you're ready to step up your training or take your game to the next level, then stop into Next Level Wellness or shop online at nxlevelwellness.com. Next Level Wellness, 10 Seneca Street, Hornell, or call 607-385-3188 for more info.
Have you written a book? You can become a published author with Dorrance Publishing, the nation's oldest publishing services company. Countless authors have trusted Dorrance for nearly 100 years to bring their book to the market. Our professional team will edit your text, design your book pages, and create an appealing, eye-catching custom cover. Plus, our authors benefit from a custom book promotion marketing campaign that makes your book available where people buy books, like Amazon and brick-and-mortar bookstores. So make this free call right now to claim your free author's guide to publishing. Don't wait another day. Take one step closer to realizing your dream of becoming a published author and seeing your name in print. You've already written a book, so the next thing to do is make this free call right now to Dorrance Publishing and get your free guide to publishing. Call right now.
800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
It's amazing what a simple refresh can do to make a difference in your home. And Lowe's is here to help make it happen. Start by shopping our new wall tile selection with hundreds of mosaics, including modern blacks and blues. Marble mosaics starting at just $7.98. And finish off your project with dual scrub and stain-resistant Valspar Ultra Interior Paint Plus Primer starting at just $24.98 a gallon. Whatever updates you need to make today and every day, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 2/19 U.S. only.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn. Ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn. Tell people to stay off the lawn. Compare it to your neighbor's lawn. And complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance, which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
And back here on the Prete Is On for our final segment, and I want to thank Steve Donlin once again, the new head football coach for Canisteo Greenwood Redskins, who joined us in the last segment. And hey, Brian, do you have that clip from Jim Rome earlier in today's show, where he talks to Deion Dawkins, offensive lineman from the Buffalo Bills? I just wanted you to play that really quick. I thought it was a really good segment.
Deion Dawkins joining us. It is. Every member I have from the Bills comes on and talks about the city of Buffalo, but it's more about the people and specifically about the Bills Mafia. How would you describe your relationship with the Bills Mafia?
Just a huge family experience. Because coming from, Temple, which isn't like, it's not like the Alabamas or the LSUs of the football world. So I really never had that excitement, like just from playing and being a athlete. So once I felt it, I was like, but you know what? I respect these people. They live their life really for football, and they love it so much that they show us so much and respect. So
that's a great clip from the Jim Rome show on Friday, talking with Deion Dawkins, offensive lineman for the Bills, who was talking about Bills Mafia. And, Brian, I was waiting for Rome to say, Deion, bang your monkey, but he didn't say it. I was disappointed. Clones, have a take, don't suck. But anyway, so Dawkins talks about Bills Mafia, and, I think most people from around here have been to a Bills game at some point in their life. If you haven't, you're missing quite an experience, and I say that both very lovingly and very sarcastically. A lot of different things happen at Bills games. Some things that are quite entertaining, and some things that, quite honestly, are kind of disgusting. But Bills Mafia is really a different breed of fans. Every team has, and I'm a Buccaneers fan, and I don't. Got to be totally honest, I've never been to Tampa Bay. I've never had a chance to go down to the pirate ship and partake in all the pregame and postgame activities at Raymond James. I've heard it's kind of a cool place. It's really hot in the early parts of the season because, in September in Tampa it's still 90 degrees. But in Buffalo, it's just such a crazy atmosphere. And the Bills fans, no matter how good or bad the Bills are, they're always there for their team. They're always there to support them. They're always there to cheer them on. But most importantly, they're always there for the party. And that's what makes Bills Mafia so special. The pile driving each other through the tables, drinking shots out of a bowling ball, cooking chicken breasts and hot dogs from the top of a car hood. I mean, who does this stuff? Bills Mafia does this stuff. So if you've never had the chance to go to a Bills game, man, you don't know what you're missing. And I know this isn't like the best year with all the coronavirus and the restrictions and the possibility of not even having fans at the game. It's not the best year to talk about, planning your trip to the game. But if the opportunity presents itself during the season and they open things back up, man, go check out Bills Mafia. Because even if you're not a Bills fan, it is such a cool experience. So Jim Rome, Deion Dawkins hit it on the head about his experience with the Mafia. So it's a cool thing because we live in Western New York. The Bills are kind of representative of our area. And to have such a cool group of fans to represent them is really special. I mean, they are known nationwide and who knows, maybe even worldwide as Bills Mafia. So enough about the Bills. I know we've talked about them for a couple of segments, talked about baseball, the prospects of a season, and some of the obstacles that they're facing in their proposal to roll out our season this year. The last thing I want to talk about is local, and it's something that is really disappointing, but under the circumstances it had to happen, and that's the cancellation of the Gus Macker tournament. It's a tournament that the YMCA has held for many years, but at least a couple of decades, maybe even more. And, from that last weekend in July, they block off Main Street. There's hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds of people coming from all over the place, from locally, statewide, out of state, to come and play in the Macker tournament. And most importantly, it's a moneymaker for the YMCA. And they had to cancel this year because of the coronavirus restrictions and the regulations and, the group gatherings and things like that. So, it really breaks my heart that we're not able to have Macker this year. and I think it's, hopefully just a 1-year postponement. As far as I know, it's coming back next year. But, man, that's really going to stink because I really enjoyed going down there and watching all the different games. Some of them were pretty intense, too, especially among the older males and the adults who are playing. So no Macker this year. That's another cancellation. I know every time a cancellation or postponement on sporting events comes in, I try to notify everybody. So bummer for the YMCA and the the annual Macker event, but again, hopefully it'll be back next year. So in my final segment here on the Prete Is On, I just want to take the time once again to thank all of our essential workers, our healthcare providers, our people who are, working in grocery stores and all the businesses that are open that are serving us, frontline workers. I also want to take the time to thank all the members of the military. Your service is appreciated by everybody, and I know maybe we don't say it enough, but with Memorial Day coming up, I just want to thank all of the veterans and the sacrifices that people have made, and those that are currently in our armed forces. So thank you very much for that, and I don't think I can tell you in words the gratitude that I have for everything that you guys do for our country. So that's the end of our show this Saturday here on the Prete Is On 92.1 The Team. We'll be back next Saturday at 9 a.m. on Memorial Day weekend. And don't forget, the Joel Orion show starts right after this one. Goes till noon here on 92.1 The Team. Thanks again for listening. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Talk to you next Saturday.